Welcome to the biggest day in Australian softball. It's the 1998 Australian Fast Pitch Championships Grand Final. Once again, we're at Homebush Bay, the site of the 2000 Olympic Games. Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Michael Palmer. Well, New South Wales against Queensland, traditional rivals, the two best teams in Australian softball. It's anybody's game. To find out more, I'm joined by former Australian captain and Atlanta Olympian, Joyce Lester. Joyce, both teams packed with star players. Who do you think's going to win this one?
Oh, this is going to be a great grand final. Both teams are very evenly matched. Melanie Roach will be on the mound for the New South Wales team. She's just getting over an injury. She'll have to work hard, but she's a tough competitor. And Fiona Haynes has been batting the ball so well for New South Wales. On the other hand, Queensland again, another Australian representative standing on the mound. And Hayley Petrie and Kelly McKellar have been batting the ball so well. Being a Queenslander, I just have to say, sorry Michael, but Queensland have to win this game.
And here we have the two teams getting introduced onto the field, and the news right before the grand final. It's only just happened. Melanie Roach has been withdrawn from the New South Wales team. She will not pitch for New South Wales in the grand final, and that really swings things Queensland's way in front of this big crowd on a perfect day for softball here at Homebush Bay. Melanie Roach, the star pitcher, obviously very disappointed. There she is on the left with the fact that she's had shoulder problems and is not going to be able to pitch for New South Wales. Exchange of lineup cards at home plate. Barry Blanchard and Simon Rosfus, the two coaches. There's the umpiring crew. Kerry Franklin, one of the experienced umpires in Australian softball, is going to call the balls and strikes on this very important game, the grand final of the National Championship. Here's the Queensland batting order. Kelly McKellar's absolutely starved this week, hitting .409 with 4 home runs. Sandra Allen hit second, then Frankie McRae and Tanya Harding. Hayley Petrie, the centre fielder, hitting .389, followed by Kim Cooper, Natalie Shapiro, Marissa Kapadios, and hitting ninth, second base, Linda Ward. Defensively for New South Wales around the outfield, Melinda Wright, Kerry Wyborn and Tracy Davis. The infielders Natalie Titcomb, Natalie Ward, Fiona Haynes and Melina Milson. Kelly Alassi will do the catching, and out on the pitcher's plate, Lenine Clark, thrown only 7 innings in the tournament, walked 2, struck out 7, but hasn't given up any earned runs, and this is going to be a big opportunity for her as you see Fiona Haynes, and there's Lenine Clark.
And Lenine Clark, she comes into this game not having very much experience at all in this tournament. This is a real blow for New South Wales not having Melanie Roach on the mound. They're going to find it tough this game.
Kelly McKellar steps into the batter's box for Queensland, and here's the first pitch of the 1998 Grand Final.
That's a good start from Lenine. A strike, first pitch. That'll be a confidence booster for her.
What a great play to have hitting first for Queensland. Kelly McKellar hitting .409, 4 home runs, 6 runs batted in, as you see Lenine Clark's statistics.
Nice pitch there from Lenine. I mean, she's got such a tough lineup in the Queensland lineup to be pitching against. This will be a real test for Lenine.
Kelly McKellar goes after that one, but fouls it just out behind first base, into the crowd, out of the reach of Melina Milson, and the count stays at no balls and 2 strikes.
Kelly McKellar a few years back went over to the US and had a stint over there. She's come back an amazing hitter. I can't believe she used to be a bunter and now she's putting it over the fence on a regular basis.
Pops this one up as well, but it heads back into the crowd.
There's Kelly Alassi, the catcher. She's been around for quite a while. Great experienced catcher, and that'll be a great confidence booster for Lenine, having such a great player there to help her. And Kelly's really testing Lenine. She's really making her pitch a lot of pitches in this first time at bat.
Hits this one hard and high to left field. It's got a chance to go out. It's way over the fence, and Queensland are in front.
Oh, goodness. I wonder whether this is first batter and over the fence. Well done, Kelly McKellar.
She's very excited. What a way to start the grand final. Kelly McKellar hits the ball deep to left field. No chance for the left fielder, and Queensland are in front 1-0 on this great piece of hitting.
That'd have to be your worst nightmare, coming into a grand final and your lead-off hitter hitting a home run. And it was amazing. Kelly McKellar actually reaches out and gets that and puts it over the fence.
Well, what a start for Queensland. Just the perfect opportunity, and immediately they jumped out 1-0 as you see Sandra Allen coming in, hitting 240.
Sandra's a young player. She's been put in the number 2 position because she's so versatile. Hit the ball hard, good bunter.
Hits this one high into centre field. Here comes Kerry Wyborn. Calls for it, takes it comfortably, and that's the first out.
And there goes Sandy, gets right underneath that ball, shoulder underneath it, and lifts it up into the centre field.
So hopefully that'll be a bit more settling for Leneen Clark. Obviously shocked by the first home run, but now she's got the first out here in the top of the first inning.
And another great hitter from Queensland up.
Frankie McRae hits this one hard as well, and this has gone way out to centre field over the grandstand, and Queensland have exploded here in the first inning. They lead 2-0.
Unbelievable. 2 home runs, and they still only have 1 out. New South Wales are going to have to do something fairly quickly. They don't want Queensland to get any more runs from here.
Yeah, I think coming in there was no doubt that everyone thought it'd be a low-scoring game, maybe 1-0, 2-1, and already Queensland have got 2 runs. Frankie McRae absolutely launches this, and it goes all the way over that grandstand and out into the street here at Homebush Bay. Fantastic piece of hitting.
It's such a shame. There's Coach Barry Blanchard giving his pitcher a few words of wisdom, and I think she's going to need a little bit of help out there, because you've got Tanya Harding up to bat, who's another great hitter. I wouldn't like to be in Leneen Clark's shoes at the moment.
Tanya Harding, of course, in the semi-final, Queensland against New South Wales. She hit 2 home runs off Melanie Roach and put Queensland into the final. They won 3-0 that day, and she really was the dominant player of that game and is responsible for Queensland being here in the grand final, and she'd love to keep this going in the first inning.
That's the sort of pitching Leneen needs to do. She's got to keep it on those corners. She can't let the ball go on the plate at all. She's got to make those Queensland batters work hard. I wonder what's going on inside her head at the moment. Don't know whether Tanya Harding liked that one or whether she thought she should have hit it. Tanya at the moment is playing in Japan and having a great time over there pitching, and has been hitting really well. And back over here again for the Australian season.
She hits this one hard down the left field line. Just foul. That looked like it had gone as well. They really are getting after Leneen Clark, and that only missed by about a metre down the left field line.
Those Queensland girls are pretty excited in that dugout, getting right behind their hitters. Tanya Harding's such a power hitter here. Leneen Clark's going to have to keep that ball right away from her, or at least change the speed of it on a regular basis.
And Harding goes after this one again, launches into left field, doesn't quite make it. Melinda Wright, back against the fence, takes the catch for the second out, but another really well-hit ball.
And right out to the outfield. I mean, that ball's sitting right across the plate there. I mean, Leneen must be feeling stressed. It must be difficult for her, but she's really got to work at it.
Well, she's got a smile on her face. That's nice to see. As Hayley Petrie comes hitting 389. She's had a good tournament as well.
That's it. We haven't seen Leneen throw too many waste pitches so far. I think probably that's what she needs to do. Just get the Queensland batters guessing.
Yeah, she's really been right around the plate and given them the opportunity to go after almost every pitch.
And again, another Queensland hitter who has a lot of power here with Hayley Petrie. Often wonder too what's going on in Kelly Alassie's mind. I wonder whether she's thinking, oh my goodness, where do I call the ball next? Such a horrible feeling when a team comes out hitting and swinging the way Queensland have.
Whoa, up and in, that backs Petrie out over the batter's box. It's pretty close to hitting her, but she got out of the way, and the count goes out to 3 balls and no strikes. As you see, Queensland coach Simon Rosfus down the third baseline.
He must be feeling pretty good at the moment. 2 runs, first innings.
Nice pitch. First change-up we've seen from Leneen Clark, and she spotted it beautifully on the outside corner for 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yes, I think that we probably need to see a lot more of those from Leneen.
No one misses inside, and that's a walk for Hayley Petrie. 4 balls, she heads down to first base. Puts a runner on for Queensland with 2 out here in the top of the first.
And that's not such a bad move. Hayley's been batting the ball so well this tournament. They really don't want to give her anything. And it brings up Kim Cooper. He's a great player, but has been struggling this tournament with the bat.
Yeah, just 3 hits so far, but as usual, has played really well on defence. And is an important part of this Queensland team as the captain. She gets a good swing away straight away, but can't catch up with that one from Leneen Clark.
No, probably for Kim, the biggest problem she's been having this tournament is she keeps going after balls. She really needs to wait for that ball to come over the strike zone. She's got such great power.
Queensland team on the bench all up against the wire. They're obviously very happy with this start.
You know, you wonder whether Queensland are going to maintain this. You know, every hit so far has gone all the way out to the fence.
That's right, 4 batters up so far. In fact, 5 batters got the walk to Petrie, but before that, 2 home runs and 2 deep fly balls into the outfield. Cooper just pulls that foul. Had a look on her face like that was one she really could have got after. But it goes down the third baseline.
Leneen Clark's got to be feeling the pressure here. You can see her breathing and breathing and breathing just as she's about to let that ball go.
And Hayley Petrie takes off as that ball gets away at home plate. So she's down to second base, and the count's now 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And that's a fairly good indication of pressure too. I mean, there's been quite a few balls there that Leneen just seems to have no control over at the moment. She must be working so hard at not letting the ball go across the plate.
Fouled off again. This has got to be really tough for her, and coming in here, New South Wales thought they were going to have Melanie Roach, who really, I think, is in the top 5 pitchers in the world. And, you know, suddenly Leneen Clark, who is a high-quality pitcher at the national level, but just isn't in that same class.
No, that's right. And Melanie's basically pitched all the games for New South Wales, so if these younger girls had been given a chance earlier, then maybe things might be a little bit different. Maybe Leneen would be putting up with the pressure a bit better.
That's right, as we see Kim Cooper walks. Leneen Clark in the entire tournament, just 7 innings coming into the grand final, so she hasn't had a lot of work and really has struggled a little bit here in the first inning. Back-to-back walks to Petrie and Cooper, and now here's Natalie Shapiro. She goes over to the first one and hits it deep to centre field. It's over, just makes it. A 3-run homer, and Queensland leads 5-0. nothing. It's unbelievable.
I can't believe it. She's pitched 2 walks and 3 home runs in the first innings. That's a New South Wales nightmare.
Wow, how excited are Queensland. They lead 5-0. And Barry Blanchard is coming out onto the mound to change pitches. As you see the replay, she got all of this. It looked for a while like Kerry Wyborn was going to get it, but not quite, just clears the fence. And Queensland are murdering New South Wales here in the top of the first inning.
And it's great to see a young player like Natalie Shapiro come out in the grand final and hit a home run and score 3 runs. That's fantastic.
And Barry Blanchard did make the change when he came out, and now here's Kelly Gentle pitching for New South Wales. Comes in to replace Leneen Clark. And she would just love to be able to get Marissa Kapadios out right now and get New South Wales out of this big jam they're in and give them a chance to come out on offense and try and peg back the lead.
That's exactly right. Kelly Gentle want to come in here, make the 3rd out so that their team can come in and bat. And she's pitching pretty quick in there, Kelly. She looks like she's coming out fairly tough. She needs to be confident. She needs to put those balls right on the edge of the plate, and she's got to get her team into hit. And Marissa's the young catcher for Queensland, having a great tournament too. I mean, she has some tough pitches to catch to with Tanya Harding and Brooke Wilkins, and doing a great job.
It's pretty good swing away at that one, but swings through it. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 out here. 5-0 Queensland. We're in the top of the first inning.
And I'd love to know how many pitches have gone down in this first inning. It's been amazing.
This one lifted into left field over towards the line, but here comes Melinda Wright. Handles it comfortably, and the nightmare for New South Wales is over. Queensland come out and incredibly score 5 runs in the top of the first inning, as you see this fly ball. Just the start that nobody would have expected, and you see Barry Blanchard there just trying to put things into perspective for his team, but they've got a mountain to climb now. They've really got to get going on offense, and the batting order they're going to send up as Natalie Ward leading off playing shortstop, Fiona Haynes hitting 344, Melina Milsom, Natalie Titcomb and Kelly Alassi. Designated hitter Melanie Thomas hitting 400, then Melinda Wright the left fielder, Kerry Wyborn plays centre field, and batting ninth the right fielder Tracy Davies, who's hitting 300. Defensively for Queensland, Frankie McRae, Hayley Petrie and Kelly McKellar around the outfield. The infielders Natalie Shapiro, Kim Cooper, Linda Ward and Sandra Allen. Marissa Kapadios will do the catching, and out on the mound Tanya Harding, 16 innings, given up 5 hits, 1 earned run and struck out 27 batters. She's had a fabulous tournament.
Yes, and life's going to be easy for her with 5 runs behind her. She's going to be throwing that ball hard against New South Wales.
And New South Wales, Natalie Ward is going to lead off and try and make some inroads into this huge Queensland lead. And first ball straight back to Tanya Harding. Everything going right for Queensland, and Natalie Ward is retired on the first pitch.
Natalie's been struggling with the bat this tournament. She's only batting in the 100s, which is really unusual for Nat. But you can never give up hope on her. She's always a batter who comes out when New South Wales really needs it.
But somebody who has been dominating with the bat is Fiona Haynes, hitting 344. And this one back up the middle. It's going to be a quick inning for Queensland. 2 pitches and 2 outs. Kim Cooper, as always, handles that comfortably.
Yes, you'd think the New South Wales batters would be a little bit more patient. But I suppose the adrenaline's running and the heart's pumping.
Yeah, I think they're obviously pretty eager. They see they're so far behind. They really want to make things happen quickly, and that's not how they're going to do it. They need to be scoring, 1 run sort of every inning, not trying to get them back all at once. It's just a tough job they've got, but they've got to be patient.
There's Melina Milson, again going after the first pitch. If she had met that 3 pitches, 3 outs, that would have been a horror start for New South Wales.
This ball hit down onto her foot, and that makes it foul. So it shot out to Natalie Shapiro, but Kerry Franklin, the plate umpire, called that one straight away. Perry Blanchard just checking to make sure Melina Milson's okay. Came off the bat and hit it pretty hard right in the toe.
And Tanya's had a great tournament too. Typical great pitcher, great Australian pitcher. And it's going to be hard for New South Wales. Nobody would want to be in this situation.
And exactly, Tanya Harding's statistics show that she gives up 1 run for every 2 games she pitches right at the moment, and that is not a good sign for New South Wales, because as a minimum they need 6 runs, and on what we've seen so far there's going to be no stopping Queensland. I'm sure they're going to score some more runs, as Melina Milson hits this very hard, but it just hooks foul down the left field line.
New South Wales really need a confidence builder here. They need someone to come out and get a hit, and then hopefully everyone else will follow on.
Kerry Franklin behind the plate. She's had a good start, and there's part of the big crowd we've got in today. It's just a beautiful day here in Sydney, and everyone's come out to see the final of the National Fast Pitch Women's Championship.
And the last game actually to be played at Homebush before it's torn down and tennis put on it.
And this ball is hit into the gap in right centre field. Doesn't quite get out, but it bounces off the fence, and Melina Milson heads into second base with a double. Just what New South Wales needed.
That's an excellent hit from Melina Milson, and she's been around a fair while. That's exactly what they need, someone with a bit of confidence out there swinging the bat.
And you can see this ball, it was heading for the fence and just hit the base of it on the full, and it made it ricochet all the way back in past the outfielders, and Melina Milson is comfortably into second base with a 2-base hit, and hopefully this will be the start of something for New South Wales.
Yes, they really need a backup hit here. To get 1 run this innings would be a boost for them. With Natalie Titcombe up to bat, here's a chance.
Great pitch, perfect location on the outside, right on the knees. Natalie Titcombe can do the job, hitting 269. She's got a couple of home runs, 7 runs batted in. The perfect person in this situation for New South Wales.
Oh, great stop, Marissa Carpadios. It's always a confidence booster. 5 runs. You could feel like you could do anything at this stage.
Great pitch, just took a little bit off it. Natalie Titcombe swings through it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's 2 out. And it's Barry Blanchard down at third base. And strikes are out. Perfect pitch on the outside corner. Natalie Titcombe swings through it. And Tanya Harding does the job. Gets 2 outs on 2 pitches. Gives up the double to Melina Milson. And then strikes out Natalie Titcombe. But what a wild first inning. And there it is. Queensland lead 5-0 after 1 complete. In the top of the second inning, Kelly Gentle struck out the first 2 hitters, but then up came Sandra Allen, and she got after 1. 4th home run of the game for Queensland, just fair down the left field line, and Queensland kept it going, leading 6-0. And then in the bottom of the second inning, Tanya Harding on the mound, as usual, faced 3 hitters and retired them all. She got Melinda Wright on a ground ball to third base. It was well handled by Natalie Shapiro. So after 2 complete, Queensland now leads 6-0. Into the top of the third inning, and it just remains a Queensland ball game, 6-0. Sandra Allen with the big home run down the left field line in the second inning extended the lead, and now New South Wales back out onto the field to try and keep Queensland scoreless. They've really got to find a way to shut them down, as you see Kelly McCullough in the dugout, and here's Hayley Petrie.
Who would have ever thought the final was going to end up like this? But Mel Roach must be sitting on the bench just wishing she was out there pitching.
And Kelly General really hasn't done that bad a job since she came in. She got a fly ball to end the ride in the first inning, 3 strikeouts in the second inning, but did give up the home run to Sandra Allen. So she's just got to keep going the way she is, try and build up these strikeouts and keep the Queensland hitters off base.
And that's it, keeping it low and inside on Haley, making her go for a ball. That's excellent pitching.
Ball 1 strike to the right.
Queensland team are obviously very, very stress-free at the moment, enjoying the game.
This ball hit up the middle. It's going to drop in for a base hit, and it kicks away from Kerry Wyborn. Haley Petrie heading into second base. Another wild throw. And finally, Melina Milson grabs it and holds onto it. A wild play. And Kerry Wyborn just shaking her head.
You can just see it, mistakes being made. The pressure's on New South Wales, and Queensland just keep pushing and pushing and hitting that ball. That's the worst thing you want to happen. I mean, it's bad enough they're hitting, but once you start making errors.
And that was Melinda Wright who threw it back in. She was actually the one doing all the head shaking in left field, not Kerry Wyborn. As you see, this just drop in front of her. She made a good charge on it, couldn't come up with it. Haley Petrie sees it get away, and she heads into second base and makes it comfortably.
And Kim Cooper up to bat. Runner on second.
Ball to the mound.
Just leaves that pitch inside, called a strike by umpire Kerry Franklin.
Kelly Gentle's doing a good job. She's keeping that ball right on the edge of the plate. Again, still not a lot of sucker pitches being put in. No, pitches that are a little bit slower than the normal pitch. They need somehow to keep Queensland at bay, and the only way they're going to do that is to change the speed of the ball to make them second think before they're swinging. Queensland just seem to be going for it.
Yeah, they've been really comfortable in the batter's box, and I think you're absolutely right. Every pitch has been about the same speed, and they've been able to get some really good swings away. And very aggressive again in the batter's box. Kim Cooper right after it. She, of course, got a walk back in the first inning and scored on the 3-run homer by Natalie Shapiro.
You have to give Queensland credit. They're really making the pitchers pitch on the plate. Anything on the edge, they're just leaving and waiting for them to have to come back if they're behind in the count. That's good hitting.
Reaches out, hits this ball back to Kelly Gentle, makes the throw over to Melina Milson, holds Haley Petrie at second base, and that's the first out here in the top of the third.
And Kim Cooper won't be happy about that. It's the same thing she's been doing all tournament, reaching for the ball, going for the wrong pitches.
And here's the real star of the first inning, Natalie Shapiro with the 3-run homer. She'd love to do it again. Hits this one hard into left field. It's just dropping off the handle. Looked like it was hit hard, but dives in there, and Haley Petrie comes in and scores, and the lead is now 7-0.
And that's what you'd hate too. She comes up last time, hits a great home run, and this time hits it and drops it in. I mean, the outfielders are standing on the fence waiting for her to hit another long one.
And there's the throw from Melinda Wright, but not in time as Haley Petrie slides in to score. And Queensland keep rolling on, and there's a happy Natalie Shapiro who made the turn on the throw and finished up at second base in some really aggressive base running.
And catcher Marissa Carpadios up to bat, and again with another run in scoring position.
And this ball's hit foul down the right field line, but again, Queensland hitters straight away, just getting after Kelly Gentle.
And at this stage, New South Wales, I mean, you have to feel sorry for them. They've got their second pitcher there, they've got nobody else to bring on. And their star pitcher sitting on the bench, not being able to join in. It must be so frustrating.
This ball hit very hard by Marissa Capadios, deep to left field, and this has gone off the balloon. That is a massive home run. 2 more runs for Queensland. There is no end to it.
That's a huge hit from Marissa. And awful for New South Wales. You'd almost be thinking, you know, you'd want to walk some hitters and maybe go for the lower end hitters. But Natalie Shapiro and Marissa Carpatios, lower end hitters, bashing it over the fence.
And this has gone a mile. It's hit the top of the sponsor's balloon out in left field. And that was heading for the road. We may never have got that one back. That's a huge home run. And it's 9-0. And we're in the top of the 3rd inning. It is incredible.
I'd hate to be in New South Wales shoes at the moment. There seems no end to this, no matter what they try. Queensland are just bashing that ball everywhere.
And Linda Ward into the batter's box now. And now what we've got to think about, when the game started, we thought it might be 1-0 or it might go extra innings. Now we look like we're going to have the 10-run rule. So once you get through 5 innings and one team leads by more than 10, the game is automatically over, and we're heading for that right now.
That would just be the worst possible thing for New South Wales.
I doubt that we've ever seen it before in a national grand final. Certainly not in my memory. It's the grand final is always a close affair by 2 evenly matched teams, but this is a big exception. It's 9-0 in the 3rd inning.
I can't ever remember this happening when I've played.
This ball hit by Linda Ward to 3rd base. Well handled by Natalie Titka. A little bit more relief for New South Wales. They get the 2nd out.
I think there's a message here, and Barry Blanchard must be absolutely shooting himself at the moment for having played his top pitcher so often. I mean, you know, there were a couple of games he could have lost. New South Wales didn't have to come #1 into the final. He should have given them up, and he would have had his star pitcher on the mound pitching against Queensland. Different story.
Yeah, it really does seem that it's a case of Melanie Roach just having pitched too much and not being able to carry the load, and by the end of the tournament, literally, she was worn out.
Well, it's a hard lesson to learn, but I'm sure Barry Blanchard's learnt it.
Kelly McKellar hits this one hard. Knocked down by Kelly Gentle. Here comes Natalie Ward. And gets it. What a great play. That is outstanding defense. A brilliant play by Natalie Ward. Fantastic. And that gets Kelly McKellar at 1st base. You can see this one off Kelly Gentle's glove. Slowed it down. And now Natalie Ward's got to run all the way across the infield. Off balance throw. Melina Milson catches it. And that gets Kelly McKellar. One of the real highlights of the grand final. And in fact, the only highlight so far, I think, for New South Wales as they retire Queensland. But Queensland, of course, just keep it going. 3 more big runs, and now they lead 9-0 in the middle of the 3rd inning.
Okay, as president of the New South Wales Softball Association, how do you feel about the last tournament being held at the Homebush ground?
Well, Joyce, it's a little bit sad in a way, because we've been here since January 1987 when we played the under-16s here. But I think in leaving the place, we're going to a far better venue. We're going to a temporary venue until the year 2000, and then New South Wales will take over the Olympic venue in January 2001. So there's a little bit of sadness because we have been here just over 10 years, but there's a great delight in going to a new venue.
So where will this temporary venue be?
It's at Parklea, a suburb just to the west of Blacktown, and Blacktown City Council have offered us this ground for our facility, which will have 4 diamonds on it. As a temporary measure, we will take our administration there as well, and we'll be actually moving all of softball to Blacktown well before 2000, so the Blacktown community and Sydney will know where softball is and where the Olympics will be in 2000.
Into the bottom of the 3rd inning, and New South Wales get a chance. Fiona Haynes and Natalie Ward are both walked, and Melina Milson steps in, but grounds out the shortstop, and Kim Cooper makes a nice play to Natalie Shapiro to retire Natalie Ward and end the threat by New South Wales. It was their best chance so far. And then as afternoon turns into evening, Kim Cooper steps in, but she strikes out as Kelly Gentle starts to get on top of the Queensland hitters. Through the bottom of the 4th, it really is a pitcher's duel. Tanya Harding on the mound for Queensland, continuing to dominate, and she blows one by Melanie Thomas, and that ends New South Wales' chance in the 4th. We head straight into the 5th inning, and Linda Ward is in the batter's box for Queensland. Kelly Gentle again is on top and strikes her out. So New South Wales at least have stopped Queensland from scoring. And then we head into the bottom of the 5th. Beautiful scene at Homebush Bay. Lots of people in, unfortunately not enjoying the game. Most of them New South Wales supporters. Tracy Davis hits a ground ball to second base, and that ends the bottom of the 5th for New South Wales. And even though the complexion of the game has changed, the pitch is now dominating, it's still 9-0 in favour of Queensland. As we head into the top of the 6th inning, New South Wales still hanging on. They trail 9-0, but they're desperately trying to avoid the embarrassment of losing by the 10-run rule and having the game end early. But Kelly McKellar, I'm sure, will be trying to get that extra run for Queensland.
And Kelly Gentle needs to get that ball down a little bit further. That's a bit up in the strike zone. She's kept Kelly McKellar to a K2 and only hit to shortstop the last 2 times. But first time up to bat, a great home run, so she'll be hoping to get another out here.
This ball hit very hard through the gap into right field. Tracy Davis can't come up with it, but Kelly McKellar comfortably down to first base with a single.
Nice hit from Kelly McKellar. And the one thing about her hitting to right field, it's pretty safe because she can run. She's so quick. She'd have to be one of the fastest runners here at Nationals.
And what a fabulous Nationals she's had. Certainly one of the leading candidates for most valuable player of the tournament. She came into the game hitting .409, picked up 2 hits in this ball game. And here's another impressive hitter, Sandra Allen, who hit the home run back in the 2nd and picked up a single in the 4th.
It's great to see these young players coming in and doing so well. Queensland have such experience, but these few new players that they have in are doing their job and really working hard for Queensland. Very successful players.
Sandra Allen just lifts this one into right field. Tracy Davis comes around as Kelly McKellar doesn't hesitate at second, into third, but she's tagged out at second base.
Why didn't Sandra Allen slide then? That's just crazy.
You can see the second base player moved down to first, created a gap. It was lifted over her head. Kelly McKellar just keeps going to third. Tracy Davis doesn't come up with it, so Sandra Allen heads for second. But you're right, she doesn't try and slide and is tagged on the knee by Natalie Ward, and she's out.
I'm wondering whether she actually knew that the ball was going to second or whether she thought the ball was going to be thrown over to third or home to try and get Kelly McKellar.
It really did look like she expected the ball to go somewhere else and consequently just jogged into second base. And that's the first out here in the top of the 6th.
Frankie McRae up to bat. Again, another great hitter. He's had a great tournament.
It's this ball up the middle, and that's the 10th run for Queensland. 3rd hit of the game for Frankie McRae. Kelly McKellar comes in and extends the lead out to 10-0. And Queensland now have a chance to wrap this game up in the bottom of the 6th if they can retire New South Wales with this 10-run advantage.
It's amazing. Every time Queensland seem to get a runner on base, the next batter comes up and gets a hit.
And really, the top 3 hitters in the order, McKellar, Allen and McRae, have really done the damage in this ball game. Kelly McKellar, 2 hits including a home run. Sandra Allen, 3 hits and a home run. Frankie McRae, 3 hits and a home run. It's just been an incredible performance by those first 3 hitters.
And facing Tanya Harding now, another good hitter. I mean, what do you do? I mean, it's just one hitter after another, and they're all swinging the bat hard.
And of course, with Queensland 10 runs in front, New South Wales get the opportunity in the bottom of the 6th to try and prevent this 10-run victory from happening. But Queensland in a very strong situation now. Tanya Harding chops this one down, but it rolls foul over to Natalie Titcomb.
And the worst possible situation is if Queensland can get more runs other than this 10. Simon Roskvis, he must be so happy.
Tanya Harding over Natalie Titcomb. They go to second base. Nice play by Fiona Haynes to complete the out. And they retire Frankie McRae as Tanya Harding is at first base.
Not a good throw through to second base, but Fiona Haynes sort of twists backwards and gets that ball. And then manages even to get it over to first, but misses out on getting Tanya Harding.
Yeah, it really was a great play. Excellent hand-eye coordination and a strong throw to first base. So we now have 2 out. Tanya Harding at first base and Hayley Petrie.
And Hayley's already had 2 hits and a walk this game, batting 1,000. Every single time up to bat, getting on base. That's excellent. She takes a huge swipe at that.
Another pretty aggressive swing from Hayley Petrie.
That's a typical Hayley Petrie swing. Just goes for it. And at this stage, why wouldn't you? I mean, you've got nothing to lose. You're ahead so many runs. You know, you've just got to swing hard. Comes around for a slap.
Oh, and just goes after it, and I think she wished she hadn't. It was down into the dirt and fouls it off.
This is also very typical of Hayley when she has 2 strikes on her. She comes around in a slap position, looking like she's going to come and bunt, put down a short one, then comes back again.
She's battling away in there. That's ball hit down into a leg, which makes it foul immediately. Tanya Harding will head back to first base. No damage done as the ball hits Hayley Petrie in the foot. She'll step back into the batter's box and try to extend this lead for Queensland.
They certainly don't want to give Hayley anything here. They've got runners on base. The last possible thing they'd want is to put the ball over the plate to let her hit.
They did, and she hits it high into centre field. This is up into the wind. It's got a chance. It just makes it. Great effort by Kerry Wyborn. But Hayley Petrie does it. 2-run homer. Queensland now lead 12-0.
That is the worst possible scenario for New South Wales. And it's amazing. If you watch the replay again, Hayley Petrie gets right underneath it. It's almost like she's hit it straight up in the air. She's hit it so hard that it just carries and carries over the fence.
It just got up in the slipstream and out it went. This is a great effort here against the fence by Kerry Wyborn. She threw herself through it, but couldn't come up with it. Tanya Harding scores, and here comes Hayley Petrie. And Queensland are just dominating. It is now 12-0. So we'll have Queensland come out in the bottom of the 6th inning with Tanya Harding pitching, knowing that they just need to get 3 more outs to invoke the 10-run rule and win the game and win the national championship.
This is so unlike Kim Cooper. She'll be dying to get a hit here. She hasn't had one yet this game.
It's this ball hard, but well handled by Kelly Gentle. She throws it over to first base, and the inning is over, but not before Hayley Petrie hits the big home run to centre field. Just a nice play here by Kelly Gentle. That was a well-hit ball by Kim Cooper. But Queensland score 3 big runs, and in the middle of the 6th inning, they now lead by a score of 12-0. 13 hits for Queensland, just 1 hit for New South Wales, and they're 3 outs away from capturing the national title.
Yes, it's sort of back against the wall stuff for New South Wales. They've got to get 2 runs now in this innings to be able to keep the game going, otherwise that's it. It's a nice swing from Natalie Ward.
And what a great performance out on the pitcher's plate by Tanya Harding, giving up only 1 hit to New South Wales. And you remember, that was the double by Melina Milson that hit the base of the fence back in the 1st inning. She was the 3rd batter of the game for New South. And since then, Tanya Harding's given up 2 walks, but nobody else has reached base. She's absolutely dominated the grand final, but not nearly dominated as much as the Queensland offense that have piled on 12 runs, and now they're just 3 outs away from invoking the 10-run rule and really, honestly, embarrassing New South Wales by beating them within 6 innings here in the grand final.
Yes, I feel so sorry for New South Wales. I mean, they're such a great team, and in this game it's not looking that way. I mean, they're really missing their pitcher Mel Roach on the plate. And they're such a great team. Normally they're out there swinging the bat, they look confident, but it just shows you just how much confidence people put in their pitches. And when things aren't going well in the middle, they just don't go well at all.
And especially when you consider that they were 5 runs down before they ever got a chance to bat. It really has been an uphill course for them.
Yeah, that makes it a little hard, I think. I mean, you can see it on the New South Wales faces. I mean, it must be so disappointing for them. They've had a great series. They've won so many games. It just shows you just how much a pitcher counts.
As Natalie Ward hits this one to second base, her sister Linda Ward handles it, throws her out at first, and that's the first out here in the top of the 6th.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Natalie goes for a ball out of the strike zone.
And that's going to bring up Fiona Haynes, hitting 333. And of course, with the New South Wales pitchers, Leneen Clark and Kelly Gentle, they've really battled hard, but and they're good quality pitchers. They're just not in the same bracket as somebody like Mel Roach, and that's really the difference. You know, they've had a drop of 10 or 15% in pitching ability on the mound, and it's made a massive difference.
Well, I think too, in earlier games when they were given games, as soon as New South Wales ran into any problems, on came Mel Roach. You know, I think looking in retrospect, I mean, they probably wish they had have left those girls on, given them more experience before they came out and had to pitch a final.
Pretty good swing from Fiona Haynes there. It fouls it straight back. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Again, Queensland just need to retire New South Wales, and they will be the national champions.
I mean, what a way to win a grand final. Queensland will go berserk after this. I mean, it's just looked so easy for them.
This ball's lifted into the air into centre field. Hayley Petrie comes around comfortably, makes an easy out for the 2nd out.
I think the one thing to remember, though, is New South Wales need to hold their head up. They've had a great series. Just because things have happened the way they have for the final, I think they should still be proud of themselves. They've done well.
They really have. Queensland and New South still remain the 2 best teams in Australian softball, and they're not that far apart. But this game, this is the furthest apart they've ever been, 12 runs. And now New South Wales down to their last out. Melina Milson, the only player to pick up a base hit for New South Wales in this ball game. And it seems an age ago. It was in the daylight. It was in the 1st inning, and now here we are in a beautiful evening in Sydney, and a beautiful evening for Queensland.
And they're still pitching tough to these New South Wales players. They're not giving them anything. I suppose for New South Wales too, it'll be one of those tournaments where you always say, if only. You know, how many times have you seen it? I wish we could play it all over again. We'd do it completely differently.
Exactly, but they don't get the chance to do that, unfortunately. And I don't think Queensland would be thinking they want it done any differently today.
No, they'll be on top of the world. I mean, New South Wales and New South Wales and Queensland have always been hard games. And Queensland never would have thought they would have been able to do it this easily.
Pitch coming in.
This ball hit the second base, and it goes past Linda Ward. Great hit by Melina Milson. Out to Kelly McKellar. And Milson's going to stay at first base. Second hit of the ball game for Melina Milson. Second hit for New South Wales, and she's hoping they can keep it alive.
And good on her too. She's really out there smiling, even though everything's going against New South Wales. They need a few Melina Milsons in the game today.
Yeah, it was a good piece of hitting. She's really been the most confident player in the batter's box, and there you can see her reaction. You'd think they're about to win, but at least something good happened for New South Wales, and she's acknowledging it.
And Natalie Titcombe would love to put the ball over to keep the game in play here.
She's got 2 home runs so far in the national tournament, 7 runs batted in. She came up in the first inning with Natalie Titcombe, with Melina Milson on base. Natalie Titcombe came up and struck out. She'll be hoping that she can drive Melina Milson in. Back to the pitcher, Tanya Hardy's going to win the national championship for Queensland. 12-0, a fabulous victory, and there's the excited Queensland team. They've dominated the national tournament, they've murdered New South Wales in the final, and they're deserving national champions.
No one would ever have thought this was going to happen. It's just been an absolute walkover for Queensland. And they look fairly happy too.
Ball thrown in the air. There's Tanya Harding, Hayley Petrie, and there's the line score. 5 runs in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third, and then 3 in the sixth to wrap it up. We didn't need the 7th inning. 12 runs from 13 hits from Queensland. New South Wales, no runs, 2 hits to Melina Milson. And what an excited Queensland team. It's beyond their wildest dreams. Very disappointed, I'm sure, from New South Wales, but they'll be back to fight another day. But today is Queensland's day and Queensland's national championship.
And you have to mention Hayley Petrie. She's just had an awesome game. She's batted 1,000. She's put one over the fence. She's had a walk. She's done absolutely everything in this game. And the depth of players in Queensland, the young players did their job. Oh, and there's Mel Roach. I wonder how she's feeling. This must be the most devastating point in her career.
Yeah, it's just a sad day for Melanie Roach, sad day for New South Wales. There's a lot of happy faces there as Queensland win the national championship 12-0 over New South Wales.
Hayley, fantastic game. You had 3 hits, walk, batted 1,000. But it was such a one-sided final. Did you ever think the final will end like this?
No, not really, because at first, you know, we obviously thought Mel Roach was pitching and so forth, but I mean, we didn't know what was coming, you know, at us. So I mean, we just started the game, and Kelly McCullough started off with a home run over the fence, and then we just kept going from there. And I mean, we knew all along that it was going to be a hard game. It was just made a little bit easier when Roach wasn't playing.
What have you guys been doing before you came here?
All we've been really doing is giving each other encouragement, telling how good we are, and really it's, I mean, look at us, 1 to 15 players, they're just brilliant, every one of us, you know.
Congratulations on a great win, Hayley. You've had a fantastic tournament. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, Joyce.
Well, it's been a great 1998 Open Women's Fast Pitch Championship. Queensland have done the job. They finished first, New South Wales second. Victoria and the ACT make up the 4. Then South Australia, Western Australia, and in 7th place, the Northern Territory. And the first award presented is for the best pitcher of the tournament, and fittingly it goes to Melanie Roach. She couldn't pitch in the grand final, but what a great job during the tournament. 45 innings pitched, 6 walks, and an incredible 88 strikeouts. She was absolutely dominant. The best batter of the tournament from the ACT is Sally McCready. Hit .480, almost 1 hit every 2 times she came up to bat, and did better than that in on-base percentage. She got on base 54% of the time that she came to the batter's box. And very fittingly, and a very happy most valuable player, Kelly McCullough from Queensland. She really led the way. She hit the first home run of the grand final, hit .423 for the national tournament, 5 home runs, 7 runs batted in, a very deserving and popular winner.
We are at the close of 10 years of tournaments at Homebush. And on behalf of the Association of Softball in this country, I want to say how deeply we appreciate the effort that New South Wales has made to make sure that we have a most successful week. We have been, during the week, privileged to see some very good softball, as you've heard from those figures from our stars and our best players, all striving for their best to also be under the eye of the selectors, because we have a wonderful program over the next couple of years.
Now it's time to have a look at some great highlights of the closing ceremony and the presentation of the prestigious Gilleys Shield to Queensland, and the Blacktown City Council putting on a great show to welcome everybody to what's going to be the new facility for the Olympic softball competition at Blacktown in September of 2000.
Why don't you come join my party? Let's move it till the break of dawn. I gotta hear that music ringing, bring it on. Tell the black wine, sing it out for everyone to come. The word is out, get on down, come on and have some fun. Tie your hair up, let your hair down, bring it everywhere. Young and old, gather round, hear the laughter in the air. Why don't you come join my party? Let's move it till the break of dawn. I gotta hear that music ringing, bring it on.
Well, what an amazing result. Queensland running out winners by 12 runs. Nobody could have thought it. It's the biggest winning margin in living memory. And that's Queensland now, the national champions of 1998. On behalf of Joyce Lester, I'm Michael Palmer. We'll see you next week with some more great fast pitch action.
Hey!